bia no nyanfo boache agyakoo yenya anim se oka NPP flag bearership position ne ho no odane ni dibrato ho e ma nta so se wonko biem e de ni tumi nyina e de ma e onyanfo adanimo se onto aso ye nyina anim se ni de nipa num e na November 4th no yekoto aba na ye de yi wo mu am ye di odikanfo a obedi kan e wo abato no emu na ebusuan ye da sore ya ba konso so se wono so wontimi biem ono so aredo a wo ma nsa so ono so wonko biem enipa ben wasem e na ye kan enu nti e na maje adwasem di nipa kro ne din no e bro na me de mu ntwemu nyina de nam so e ma se wa pagya ne nsa se wonto aso biem so me de wonsem nyina aba abesom Joba Aba TV so enie Joba Trendumedie ana abusua wugusu a wo hwe no na abusua mamenka wo se eye Joba delivery o se wo komtam anu abantam bebe bia wo ye bia no se de be ye beko wano wano e de ama wo no eye wo package bia akodi baabi ana wo duane bia na wo ne bia akodi baabi no bo mode ane frey na yen koje emre wo entempa eso sanso na Joba Oshers and event planning say e ba no program toto dia ene ye number 1 wo de bedan ye be hwe se ye betoto ne kama e de ama de wo pe wo mbia no onsa etimi aka abusua nyuma koi ena so masane e ma me de nsemi nyina e brew na ansa na no yenwura ensem no emu abusua ye ransem ni mu a breaking news a aba beto dwase say a te se wo fa ba bia obi a e kan ene se eye onionyanfo eye Allan Kyerematen se e kasa de o se ware draw ono nso ama ne saso asese onko biem wa resign efre eye flag bearership race no so a ontimi enko akansie no ebiemu na ye nyina nim se enu ada ena nka onionyanfo Allan Kyerematen na nka one nsemtwofo be yenhyiamu no aba be kasa enso no ebre no entimi ama so ama ene ne nsam nyina wakuchiri e de agu krata so atese this statement ena aba abonten na eno ena Joba Aba TV agimre se ye bekinkan ni statement na odi aba ni nyina ene ne nam so nti atese no oso ware draw no ama wo so a wuti fie no ene wo so agibra wutie no wonya sa nsam ni mu nyina emu etofabo ebusia ye ra ne nsam no mu sei ena otro ne nsam no na etifia asam ni mpo o sei press statement by Honorable Allan Kyerematen. On Sunday, the 27th of August 2023, I issued a public statement which made reference to the selection and shortlisting of presidential aspirants by the Special Electoral College convened by the New Patriotic Party, NPP, on 26th of August 2023. After having carefully analyzed the results of the said elections, it is absolutely clear to me from events leading to, during and after the elections that the Special Delegate Conference was strategically and tactically skewed in favor of one particular aspirant. The pronouncements made by some leading members of our party, both before and after the elections, also lend weight to my observations. The level of intimidation of varying intensity, directly and indirectly, unleashed on a significant number of delegates at various voting centers across the 16 regions, is unprecedented in the history of our party. In addition, the fact that my polling agent in the Northeast region has suffered severe damage to his eyesight, arising from his bold and courageous efforts to ensure compliance from the very rules and regulations for the conduct of the election as approved by the Presidential Election Committee, will forever remain a dark spot in the history of internal election within the party. This incident and various acts of violence and collusion reported in other voting centers are appalling, unconscionable, and despicable. I am committed to and value the safety of those who work with me and for me, and I will always fight for their interest. And to win and someone eye onionyanfo Allan Kyerematen ekuchiri egru krata so edibre wiase nyina se yentie dia ekoso ne dia namso ntia ama wa resign every eye flag bearership race no eso na ensem nyina atofa bom nyina na o kire mu se o se 27th August ena oda na di wo wiase nyina pefe ma obi bia hu se ono nso so no oka wo mo a omuko gina me ato omo so aba se presidential conference no ase no oka ho ebi na enum na wo se abato ni mu nyina na wiye nyina ma ne hu se enkrofobia fa kuntu na se pese omu wi aba ne mu edi ma nipa baako a tese saade no ayade a akoyekodanda bi eda ne tiri so na all kan na all kan akoakosi se saade na akoso nyina no eya kame se enipa bi mu party mufuo party mpanimfuo party fo na wo mu ka bie wo mu nyina wo de bere wo mu nyina dane wo mani omu skilled omu dane wo mani de akwa nipa baako ana se faako a enye party ni mra mu da se omunya saa ade no na emra no ya to achewa ono watena se adwanwu se bedru mre bi no se de etutrasem ya urukasem so na anu ada a omuto aba no ewo ehonom no saa de na so no ebekoso aya abakosem ada ho amanchiri ma ebeba mpo hu se mre bi ba ya NPP osun kokoko amanyoko mu koto aba edi eyi mpanifo bi mu no urukasem ne etutrasem sei so ema ono mpo ni pooling agent one of East region yenkrofo bi ebo no ama na nimpo se sei wonya hawo ewo nani no o se ene no watena se hu se ono odwere ne manfo wo dwene wo mo nso o mo ne ye adwuma ma no so hu se o mo nso so ehu bambo no ehia ne ye pa enu nti se sei no ma ne nsa so ontimi enko biem o se akura se maka enzo menwe mi ana nkoye afemhwe de ekọ na se moame a mesi fom enti enu ne nsama onyonyamfo Allan Kyerematen ne tofa bomu nyina ena abusua mabọ ntofa de asom wo no abusua na sansem yi ena Valentina na wa dodo na ye news friend Afia Swar Afia ya abode ene ono so atutu bi pa de ama ne MPP mpanimfo ne wasa so akanya nsasua bi da che onyonyamfo Allan Kyerematen na de Afia Swar ka ne nyina ne se o se MPP mpanimfo se mutirim oden se moa na mupeja nipa kwosoro ma se yina se afede na mo se da ya mo se de muni nipa no so eka pa mo ne na ebo de mo ya Allan Kyerematen ma kire se munye nipa papa na emo mo sa so tuo no abofo se ono abo dibi mame ni bi ene ma agoro no ye de wunya sika no no abusuafo na mo ka mo za hye mo de mfa na mo diye saa mra na wo de bebo ankrofo bi onwuma ma ankrofo aye saa mra na wo be ma obi so ehu so mfa so no saa mra de wa anye ene ya opese nkrofo bonso ma amwa we ne no ma hu de wo ye no esu ensunsanso ene Afia Swar ka no wo kire se ene yi se opese wo opese obi eboa wa osusu bo nipa ni bi enfa wo sika no emma obusuafo ni na wo wie na se mre bi bana opa omomo a omo so atinya aboa osan se nsakọ ena ensa aba
politician enya position na obefre wo bi ede na be hye wo no obefre ne ma menua ba then ba your family cannot push you. No, your family cannot push you. If you're a politician and you're not building a generation after you, you are joking. I'm telling you today, what makes John Hammer very powerful in the NDC? Make it know. The NDC used to belong to the horse. What has made John Hammer powerful in the NDC is because he built boys. He built boys. He built boys. He built a generation that will come and hold him high. That made John Hammer powerful in NDC. The point is, who is building who in the NPP? NPP penny for muchimo ding. Munyaska munkwa mpese mudi. Munyaska mpese munkwa mudi. The Allan cash issue must serve as a lesson to every politician. Must serve as a lesson, because when your money cannot push you, the people you built will push you. When your money cannot push you, the generation you helped can push you. Now, what politics? Now, you are going to say, what was your for pet? And now, what about boya? So, what politics? Sorry. Now, I just say, what about Prisika? And the akwaboah fear pet. Now, what about Trimuda? This is your story. This is your story. This is your story. And it's for politicians. Everybody should take a cue from this. Everybody. Almost start a campaign. Me and my papa hope sinadoye, which is Empress Gift Kunu. Ephraim sent me back campaigning for Allan Cash. And I asked myself, Obi Oba me papa yasi obo 2,000 Ghana. And I message him say, the point is, when you don't have that money, you need people. That is why you must build people from the scratch. You must build people from the scratch. Politicians must take a cue from this. So what about them? We hear nipa, and I do what about. Question is, why na wabuano? Why na wapejano? Why na wason ensa? So wuntimi nyina ho a also munegyina ho. This is a lesson to everybody. Moyankwala, who knew Allan Cash 2007? Sa time na legon. Sika suwa nipate, sika suwa. Mame kansa mchao. When he was doing his campaign this time around, Edi Allan Cash no kwa will be anka. There was nothing like Allan Cash because there was no cash. But since that time, no one will be a free form. And then go up pejana. So then go up will be. Oh, me wafa asienye. Oh, me se madam fubi benye. People are so wicked that when opportunities show up, and you omo yampo. So omo be chire obi. And you omo ya. When opportunities show up, you must build people randomly. People you don't even know. People you don't even know. Because that is how you build loyalty. That is how you build a gang. That is how you build a formidable brand. That is how you build a cartel. And then the other one, wait me, I will be assisting and win him the answer with me. Wait, I will be assisting and win him the answer with me. Me Afia, me nation. I've got orphans that I have positioned them in life. That when life hits me to the fucking wall, me won yanka. Omucho many omo mame neme. Omuni mami biya kame ho. Build people. One man tell me now in area now no. Build people. Build people. Build people. Area now no. Build people. Ejuma now no. Build people. Asori now no. Build people. Build people. Pick people from the ground and level them. You will need them. You need perfume.
Na ebusuya after say Afia Swar de ne reaction bae no e na po adomotren so eye good evening Ghana host. Ono so e de ne de bae ne de o kan nyina ye ba ko pe. O se ade we na esie na yesuada ho ana say ye ni da won de ampanimfo bi mu a omra so party ni mu na ono de eye Allan Kyerematen ni onyamfo no resign nyina no onfa ho so bo mu obi a say oni onyamfo H0n Allan Kyerematen.
That is heavy. That's really, really heavy. Allan Kyerematen says, how did we get here as a party in the first place? And how far are we prepared to tread on this dangerous path to self-destruction? Unquote. I am a key admirer of Allan Kyerematen, and he says that he's going to consult people who are his well-wishers. And what do we have to tell him, those of us who are his well-wishers? We have a message for Allan Kyerematen, those of us who consider ourselves as well-wishers. I blame one person for this matter, and I know who I'm talking about. I'm going to mention his name. The person that I blame in this circumstance is Kennedy Agyakoo. If Kennedy Agyakoo had not defeated Allan Kyerematen in this one, and when I say defeated, it means he did better than him. If Kennedy Agyakoo had not defeated Allan, I'm sure we will not be where we are. It is the situation of Kennedy Agyakoo coming second, which surprised many of us, except maybe my visually impaired historian and a few other analysts. The Kennedy Agyakoo adventure, which put Allan at number 3 instead of an obvious number 2. In fact, Allan started this race as number 1. By 2017, when Akufo-Addo had taken the oath of office, the minds of the people, I believe, was on Allan. Somehow that kept changing and changing in 18, 19, 20, kept changing until the vote was taken by just the super delegates, which ordinarily should not be any indication. But from what we are hearing from the MPP, as Kwabena Agyakoo said, and we'll be looking at it, Kwabena Agyakoo said the party has spoken and not much is going to change in the main election. So perhaps I blame Kennedy Agyakoo for this because he worked so hard and took a second position from Allan Kyerematen, who was the authentic first or second. And in all the analysis, all the conversations has been about Bawumia and Allan Kyerematen, Bawumia and Allan Kyerematen, Bawumia and Allan Kyerematen. And now, what do we see? We see that Kennedy Agyakoo has come second. I think that is the problem here. That is part of the reason why the Kyerematen campaign is beginning to review what they want to do and how they want to go forward with it. Somebody said on radio that it is going to be very difficult for Allan to win this contest, and perhaps that's a face-saving measure. I don't know whether it's a face-saving measure. Let's just pick up this historical resignation, and then we may come to the choir to do one stanza for us whilst we get the documentation ready. All right. It's as follows, and this is 2007, I believe. It says, I have monitored extensively media reportage and discussions. This is Allan Kyerematen speaking in 2007. That's why we use a photograph of that time. As you see, Allan has been a beautiful man from that time until now. But this is what he said in 2007. And we'll go also and show you what one of the party stalwarts, BJ Darocha, recounted. What BJ Darocha recounted about the resignation of Allan Kyerematen in 2008 after the 2007 context in December. This is what he said. I have monitored extensively media reportage and discussions within the past week. Following my decision to resign from the New Patriotic Party, it is clear that there is a calculated attempt emanating from certain quarters to create public disaffection against me for taking a decision on principles and to create the impression that I am vacillating on my decision to resign, thereby displaying inconsistencies in thoughts and judgment. I wish to state categorically that I have not rescinded my decision to resign from the party. The statement further read, we must also not lose sight of the fact that national interest is superior to the interest of any single party. In this regard, I will soon give a firm indication of the role that I expect to play in the political landscape of the country. This is the continuation of the statement of today. But then it's very similar to what he said today. Oh, wow, that's interesting. So it says, I have monitored extensively media reportage and discussions within the past week. Following my decision to resign from the New Patriotic Party, it is clear that there is a calculated attempt emanating from certain quarters to create public disaffection against me for taking a decision on principles and to create the impression that I am vacillating on my decision to resign, thereby creating inconsistency. It says here, the gross similarity, and I use gross in inverted commas, the gross similarity of the statement from my good uncle is what is interesting for us tonight. I have to find time and go and visit Allan Kyerematen very, very soon. You love his company. You would love his company. The last time he came here for an interview, we sat here and talked. You love his company. He has one of the best trade minds in Africa. That's why he almost became WTO boss. There's not a better trade mind that I have engaged than Allan Kyerematen. He's a good uncle, but at this stage and this evening, the story is not a good story. Let's see what it is, though. He says, this is 2008. He says, I wish to state categorically that I have not rescinded my decision to resign from the party. Okay, we read that already, just not to bore you with time. He says, we must also not lose sight of the fact that national interest is superior to the interest of any single party. In this regard, Allan Kyerematen said, then, I will soon give a firm indication of the role that I expect to play in the political landscape. Well, that role never came. The role that he's expected to play, following from the resignation and the campaign coming together. I remember Akufo-Addo was one of those who was very, very determined to bring Allan Kyerematen back to the NPP fold when Allan Kyerematen resigned as a result of quarrels over the party. Allan Kyerematen was the establishment candidate, chief of staff, offered clear support to him. He lost the election. He wasn't happy with it. Too many things were...
Abusia nyina nim se eye papa onyonyamfo agyakoo boache osi form no nyina ni daso ne se nipa num na aka omo kwa akopre eye November 4th no se si enso so no eye onyonyamfo Allan Kyerematen so so asi aka nipa nan ye busa se nipa nan ni ba ko bese si bie ma na emu dodo no bi besi ana so se nipa nan na omu nyina bebo ma sa akọ ame akoto mo so aba eye November 4th na ene na ye de wa ha de besi bia no JobaabaTV TV aye crowd se ye de baba besom e wo Joba trend dwumadie no eso mama ka wo se abusua subscribe ya na wa like na wa share e de amame se de be adwumadie no e be fa no tuma pa efra me din e de breakthrough na ajo se wa ampa afo brakatu me na me di dwumadie no wo tia me e de ema wo abusua me da se bebre makram